top news headlines. RIAMEI's director violates all manner of interview code of conduct, says NTEWA. MSCW demands punishment for all perpetrators in minor girl gang rape case. And in Manipur, frogs are sold for meat. Couple held with 2,000 frogs at Thoubal. A very good evening. Welcome to Times of Manipur. You're watching the Evening News Bulletin. I'm RIAMEI, giving you the news in detail. Non-Teaching Employees Welfare Association, RIAMEI Imphal, today lambasted the Director of Regional Institute of Medical Sciences, RIAMEI, saying he has violated all manners of interview code of conducts. The interview was conducted recently for recruitment of daily wage workers of the hospital. The association alleged that RIAMEI's director misused his power to gain personal benefit. Addressing media today at Sagolbantera Lukramlera Community Hall in Imphal West, NTEWA Secretary T.H. Babu Singh said that the association has been protesting against the director's policy to outsource 404 contract employees of RIAMEI without giving a chance to the already engaged contract employees. He mentioned that NTEWA held a meeting on 13 of July 2020, which was attended by all the heads of departments to put pressure on the director and the ministry to avoid outsourcing of the 404 contract employees. A representation in this regard was also submitted to the RIAMEI's director. T.H. Babu Singh said that the association will continue with its protest until their legitimate demand is fulfilled.
Convener bu condition amatu yaudna suspend torpase masi laibak thibani masi athuwa matamdo handokadubni haiduna khoi general body meeting da su tare aduga ekhoi masi food director sina 404 si makhata na mana magi intention da ekhoi ngasi bokta positive response ama laktamna maram oiraga ngasi bokta ekhoi gi outsource tawgani haibase association side gi thajadana lei aduna tawdana bagi tangte association na makhata na adumu ekhoi gi fulfill phangdibu ekhoi gi outsource tawdibu outsource tawba yadi haidana direct assurance direct to boy agitation sathagini haibase masima hak thamjage.
Convener of JAC against outsourcing of contract employees of RIAMEI, K.H. Asni Kumar, said that even after the contract employees were engaged for years, the director has been trying to dilute the RIAMEI institution for his own gain, which is condemnable. He also appealed to the director to withdraw the suspension order of NTEWA President, Secretary and JAC Convener at the earliest.
Oziki yamna pandemic situation the director na mai kusi rasi da pagtaw tawbase masima yaning de director na handak marak Delhi wages lobada magi imung manungi magi sagai gi mari mata mayama lokshalaga utilize tawraga masi without any interview da ne RIAMEI magi private property oina sijanareva adu masigi matang da lairiba mayam civil society adagi government investigating agency mayam sina so yengjan haninge ai phogdoi.
Manipur State Commission for Women, MSCW, held a meeting today in the chamber of the chairperson, Professor Binota Mainam, regarding the death of a minor girl who was allegedly gang raped by 4 persons last week. Condemning the incident, the commission urged the government to award stringent punishment to all perpetrators in the case at the earliest. Chairperson Binota also appealed to the government to initiate necessary steps in the wake of the increasing crime against women in the state. Binota also informed that uploading of photographs and identity of the victim on social media is punishable under the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2000. condemning the gang rape and murder of a 14-year girl from Mayang Imphal, Bengun Lokok on September 2 last by unknown people. Samaj Manipur, Jamiyat Ulama Maslisul, AMSO and residents of Kelakong Kongzil jointly held a protest meeting cum rally at Kelakong Kongzil village today. According to a Thoubal correspondent, the protesters chanted slogans demanding quick justice for the victim and her family. They also strongly urged Chief Minister N. Biren to translate his words into action at the earliest. Samas Manipur General Secretary Mohammad Razawuddin demanded an anti-rape law for the state and said that the case should not be politicized.
Anti-rape case, anti-rape law haijabatare, rape yadaba adugo makalgi law ama lebak asida anti-rape law chatna hanabagi damak Manipur sarkar na mari leba thabak sing athu matangi manungda khoi pakalan janingi.
Meanwhile, a 26-year-old housewife was found hanging this morning at Bisnupur Tiam Laikai of Bisnupur district. The deceased have been identified as Kundrakpam Banita, also known as Boti, aged 25 years, wife of Laishram Bisorjit. Banita's sister-in-law Binoti found her hanging at around 5 a.m. reports said. She was rushed to Community Health Center, Nambol, where the doctor declared her broad death. Superintendent of Police Bisnupur Priyadarshini Laishram, SDPO Bisnupur Shrey Vats, Nambol Police Station Officer in charge K. Subachandra rushed to the site to take stock of the situation. An FIR has been lodged into the incident. Kundrakpam Rajan, a member of Banita's family, said that they will not claim the body until the truth behind her sudden death is found out. Wildlife and Biodiversity Conservation Committee WBCC Manipur, backed by Thoubal Police, recovered 2,000 frogs this morning. The frogs were later handed over to Range Forest Office Thoubal. The frogs were being carried in a van towards Senapati by a couple. They were identified as Moirangthem Inau alias Kansing, age 39, and his wife Moirangthem Ashan Devi, age 40, from 10 Kunau Awang Laikai, but currently staying at Senapati. The report said the couple collected the frogs from the residence of Moirang Anand at Tentha. It is said that 1 kg of frogs is sold at Rs 200 at Senapati. The seizure took place near the office of Superintendent of Police Thoubal on Imphal More Highway. Speaking to our correspondent, WBCC Secretary Ramesh Ningthauzam urged the public not to indulge in such illegal activities and said it is punishable under Schedule 4 of Wildlife Protection Act.
Hangusing si smaina pharaga sel to missing leire have paw khongbi apena mafam ham chatuna apena abi bena ba madi sel digana ba yang kana haibul leire dum hata ngasi anum thabuk sin secretary masida khoi police department gi magedi meeting pangira pa puna mafu khoi thar khong seri sidul order sel ba hangusing amadi sigum mem se khoi abi bena ba yang hamda idobel.
Now we have a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
Masida akhoi gi thok ta di wa yam khang mai wani na nang doctor ro ha ai doctor oi boi de boi wana ti ai na hai se asing mak te ne thaja draga health center da sala hung sine ji ne lalam ba secretary sai ni lo doctor ni ne dang mai bi go
ida bo yo khomai 타복수 등도 그래네. 그나 람비시에 사만 가절람다나.
아도 고빈 나바 토이는 마임나 좀 레이제 아콜 로이 시다레네 doctor 지우고 많이 다운
아두기 오이래. COVID-19 positive 오이바 미로 라비싱 chahi taragi makhada leiba angangsing sahi umfu helaba ahalsing symptom uttaba patient khudingmak yumda leijaba yabagi ayabadu government na piri.
Sembro doctor
asembagine atopa state kyada home isolation tawbadagi anaba phagatpagi chang yam hengarkhabani. Delhi da tayengo mi chama home isolation tawbada saruk mawdradi fagatpa ngamlibani. Maram asina home isolation se thingbagi mahutta ekhoi punong na sagot kadabani. Home isolation tawbada kiningai karisu leiti adudi wakhaloi taminare ko ai mu chalukhige.
COVID lanting na nabagidamagta home isolation gi pambai sizinabada miyamna saugat piduna mateng pangbiyu.
lamjingba finance ki maikaidagi khanganjari madudi lakliba November thagi members singi interest payout adom ki account ki khuthangda hapcharagani asina maram oiraga members singna adom ki account hangbada fangbikhiba lamjingba finance ki passbook amadi nationalized oiba saving account passbook details ka loina namakha da pizariba email address amadi WhatsApp asida file attached tobiraga thabiraknaba mayam gi mafamda khanganjari email ID info@lamjingbafinance.com WhatsApp 6909959834 Kanghanjariba Investment Manager Lamjingba Finance.
Admission open for Naurem Birahari College, permanently affiliated to Manipur University and included under UGC Act 1956. Free admission for tourism and hospitality management and various other diploma to degree courses and training programs. And also special classes on Indian stock market for those who want to invest or day trade. Classes for beginners to intermediate and intermediate to advanced level. For details, please contact or WhatsApp 7005097748 or visit our website www.nbcollege.ac.in.
Welcome back. 4 shops and 3 rented rooms were reduced to ashes in a major fire that occurred at Wangkai Kaithel Asangbi under Imphal East District around 8 a.m. today. A jewelry shop, a grocery shop, a shop selling fuel and a tent house were destroyed in the fire. A short circuit was believed to be the cause of the blast. A team of Manipur Fire Service rushed to the spot and doused the flames and prevented it from spreading to nearby shops, according to the report.
Maisi akhoi short circuit thokpadagi gumba hawu malai ju khongode ko dukan mari ga bulap chakre kanat kumba adi sana konjang gi pot ayam loi chakre ko aro yum gi household item loi mak chakre mathagi appliance gi free chakre adi mayam ma ai ju khangde mayam chakre akhoi bhaya service ko akhoi pawbi ko matam janam lai ba ko aro bhaya bi gi side gi akhoi man kan bi gi mak akhoi thagale akhoi thaga bhongre.
The Rongmei people, along with other Zeliangrong Nagas living in the state of Assam, Manipur and Nagaland, informed that they are extremely happy to learn that the government of India under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs has a proposal to construct a tribal freedom fighters museum in Manipur in recognition of the contributions of Rani Gaidilliu and other women freedom fighters. This proposed tribal freedom fighters museum in Manipur will showcase the contributions of Rani Gaidilliu prominently, according to a release. It is a well-known fact that there are no other prominent tribal women freedom fighters in Manipur other than Rani Gaidilliu, awardee of Padma Bhushan, Tamrapatra Swami Vivekananda Seva Award, Birsha Munda Award, etc., said the release. The release went on to state that in honor of Rani Gaidilliu, the government of India has released commemorative postal stamp, commemorative coin of 100 rupees, circulation coin of 5 rupees, and Indian Navy has also launched a Rani Gaidilliu vessel. Therefore, it would be most appropriate to construct the museum as Rani Gaidilliu Tribal Freedom Fighters Museum in her native district of Tamenglong or Noney. If the genuine and peaceful demand of the people is not positively considered at the earliest, there would be no other option but to launch democratic agitations like blocking the railway projects and national highways, the release warned. India has surpassed Brazil's coronavirus tally and is now the second worst affected nation in the world after the United States with over 42 lakh COVID-19 cases. India saw the second consecutive spike of over 90,000 cases yesterday, which took the tally to 42,04,613. Apart from the 90,902 new coronavirus cases, India also saw another 1,016 deaths, which took the country's death toll to 71,642, a media report said. According to the Johns Hopkins University records, the United States now has 62 lakh coronavirus cases with a death toll over 1.88 lakh. Brazil, which is now the third worst affected nation after India, has 41 lakh cases and a death toll of 1.26 lakh. Meanwhile, global coronavirus cases have now crossed 2.70 crore, while the global death toll has crossed 8.82 lakh, said the JHU tally. Among the 42 lakh total cases in India, there are 8,82,542 active cases and 32,50,429 recovered cases, with a recovery rate of 77.31%. Manipur registered 121 fresh COVID-19 cases, including 18 personnel of Central Armed Police Force (CAPF). The state's coronavirus case tally has crossed the 7,000 mark. The state COVID-19 Command Control Room said Manipur's COVID-19 count has jumped to 7,022. The new cases were detected at VRDL Jenims, VRDL Reims, Ukhrul, Imphal West, Bishnupur, Thoubal, Imphal East, Jiban Hospital, Babina Diagnostics, Churachandpur, Senapati, Reims Areti, Tamenglong, Trunat and Rajmedi City. Yesterday, 2 COVID-19 patients, one male age of 53 years from Thoubal district and one female age of 31 years from Imphal West, died at Jenims and Reims respectively. The deceased had comorbid conditions. The cumulative number of deaths in the state rose to 38. The number of active cases stands at 1,820, while 5,164 have been discharged after recovery. The recovery rate in the state has increased to 73.54%. A team of Narcotics and Affairs of Border NAPT yesterday arrested a man and seized around 12 kgs of opium from his possession at Taiziang village of Churachandpur district. The arrested has been identified as Debit Onkolam Haukip, age of 37 years, son of Junghao Haukip from Taiziang village under Churachandpur district. NAPT said it has registered a case in connection with the incident. The accused is a police constable currently posted at Phogakchau police station in Bishnupur district. Bishnupur police has issued a suspension order against Debit, a police report added. Manipur BJP State Council member Khongbal Tabam Ibomcha today provided edibles to 6 households at Yaurabung under Lamlai constituency, now under home quarantine. Ibomcha also extended monetary aid to 5 families at Nongada Makha Laikai, a containment zone. A team of Custom Preventive Force Moray seized a truck loaded with 500 foreign-made water pumps at Moray town last night, a report said today. It may be mentioned that the Manipur government has sealed border with Myanmar in the wake of coronavirus pandemic. Manipuri civil society groups in Assam continued protests at Furlaltal Bazaar of Lakipur constituency to fulfill the demand for granting Manipuri language as an associate language of Assam. Representatives of Women's Action for Village Protection, Manipuri Youth Front of Assam, All Assam Manipuri Muslim Students Union, Assam Manipuri Muslim Youth Front Assam, Manipuri Maira Paibi Apunba Lup, All Assam Manipuri Muslim Development Organization Assam, Nongin NGO and Yaifa Liching Club took part in the demonstration. Manipuri Youth Front of Assam President Siram Herajit threatened that they will all boycott the upcoming Assam Assembly election if their demand is not met on time. Muslim Students Development Organization MSDO Sangai Yumpam held a protest at Sangai Yumpam Nungfo Bazaar against the gang rape and murder of a minor girl at Mayang Imphal on September 2. MSDO General Secretary said that they will extend support to the Joint Action Committee, JAC, in its fight for justice. Again, we have a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Khanghanjaba Lamjingba Finance Scheme members sing the Khanganjari Madudi COVID-19 maram oiraga malem pumbagi oiriba pandemic situation asina matam kuina lepcharuraba members singi benefits sing lakliba November lising ani kun thadagi pithokpa huzaragani tawenguma song interest payout pithokpagi niyamna tha khudingi tang kulhumdoida adom-adomgi account ki kuthangda pizagani haina Khanganjari wafam amana November tha amadi December tha lising ani kun gi oinadi 1% ta pizagani adumapu January lisingani kunma thoidagidi interest revise to thukcharaga hanagumna agreement leikiba percentage ta pinana bohona jagi haina Khanganjari members singda wafam amasu Khanganjari madude Malem pumbagi wanaraba matamama oibana maram oiraga civil society organization sarkar amadi atai organization singi wafam singsu nathaiba yadabana maram oiraga matam kuina lamjingba finance su thabak suba nomba yadabadagi mayamgi service leptunu leirure maram aduna March 18 lisingani kundagi September 13 lisingani kungi oinadi member singi benefit pizararoi wafam amana March 10 lisingani kun fawgi manungda leiba benefit lauthokhodaba member singna October 15 lisingani kunda pithok jagani haina member singi mafam da thanganjari mathakta panjari ba wafam singa sida member singna apam pam da soidan leyamgani haina khanjai adubo oirakliba malemgi waraba matamama oibana awabada saruk yaminasi haina lamjingba finance ki maikaidagi khanganjari amadi mayambasu ikai khumnabu cheri khanganjari ba manager lamjingba finance
Welcome back. Markets were opened for long hours and public transport back on the road in Nonne district as unlock has begun in Manipur. According to reports, people from different parts of the district were rushing to the marketplaces to stock up essential items. Cops were strictly enforcing SOP guidelines in and around marketplaces. Passenger auto service has also resumed at Longmai Bazaar, but inter-district passenger service has remained restricted. Youth Development Center Club Kairan Bitra condemned the killing of Arambam Rajan of Langdum Mayai Laikai by unidentified gunmen during a broad daylight robbery on September 4 at Rachanpur. In a press release, Youth Development Center Club urged the government to nab all culprits involved in the crime without delay. All Tribal Women's Organization ATWO has demanded speedy justice for the Mayang Imphal gang rape and murder case. ATWO Chandel and Tamenglong also demanded stringent punishment for all the perpetrators of this horrific crime. Superintendent of Police Tengnopal District T.H. Bikramjit today inspected More Ward No. 2 containment zone area. Tengnopal Deputy Commissioner Mayang Lambam Rajkumar yesterday declared More Ward No. 2 as containment zone following one person each from Hainau Kwong village and Mission Bang More were tested COVID-19 positive. DC Mayang Lambam Rajkumar warned that any person who violates the containment measures will be punished under Section 188 of Indian Penal Code 1860. On the other hand, a team of doctors from More Hospital COVID Care Center today conducted rapid antigen tests on the members of 6 families who were in contact with the 2 who have contracted COVID-19. However, we were found to be negative. SP Tengnopal T.H. Bikramjit, Additional Superintendent of Police Operations T.H. Krishna Tombi, along with More Officer in Charge Dilip Kumar, inspected the containment zone area. They later distributed face masks to the volunteers of the COVID Care Center through the village chief. Block Program Management Unit More organized a one-day training program on COVID-19 for the volunteers of quarantine centers at Primary Health Center More today. DNO COVID-19 Tengnopal District Dr. Cecil Ahong Sabam, Medical In Charge Dr. Shanti Kumar, Medical Officer Dr. Adhikar Rimayum, Arun Kumar Sharma and volunteers of Red Cross Society, Tengnopal District and other organizations attended the training program.
अदुबु मोइदगी कोविड लाइटे हुजे कोविड फ्री कंट्री ओइरे औदो मोइगी हबचांग द वाइटल्स दा कछु तौदे मोइगी सोरम दो आबा लाइके लो को लाइ होके पेकेन लाइके मोइगी हुजे इशू जे काइ नोदा मोइसे खितंग मेंटली एंजाइटी खरे लाइको को अदुदा इशू खले हो जगा आबदा आइसोलेटेड.
The All Arunachal Pradesh Student Union APSU has termed the incident of 5 civilians being allegedly taken captive by China's People Liberation Army PLA as unfortunate and called upon the central and state government to ensure their early and safe release. As per media reports, the apex student body of the state, which convened an emergency meeting yesterday to discuss the incident said that the recent abduction incident is not an isolated case, as time and again the PLA have been indulging in similar antics. Civilians living at the inhospitable border areas are taken captive at regular intervals, the union added. The APSU said the recurrence of such incidents simply reflects the failure of the center as well as the state government in protecting the life and security of people inhabiting the border areas. The Students' Union further said the absence of all-weather roads and other infrastructure in the border areas has its own sordid stories to tell. This absence is not only making life difficult for the locals living in the border areas, but also for the defense personnel deployed along the LAC, the APSU said. The center must stop looking Arunachal only through the prism of security and rather take a more inclusive approach of development, which are at par with other Indian states, it added. The Supreme Court today asked the states to file detailed affidavits on a plea seeking directions to provide masks and sanitizers for senior citizens who are living alone amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The apex court has asked the state government to file the affidavits within 4 weeks, a media report said. Former Union Minister and Senior Advocate Ashwini Kumar informed a bench comprising Justices Ashok Bhushan, R. Subhas Reddy and M.R. Shah that the affidavits filed by states based on August 4 direction of the court lack details on action taken to address the issue. The Supreme Court on August 4 last had directed that all pensioners should be regularly paid pension and states should provide them necessary medicines, masks, sanitizers and other essential amid the ongoing pandemic. Ashwini Kumar cited the affidavit filed by Manipur and contended that state governments should file better affidavits with more details on the actions taken so far. India today successfully flight tested the hypersonic technology demonstrator vehicle HST-DV developed by DRDO, which will power futuristic long-range missile system and aerial platforms. With the milestone, India joined the elite club of United States, Russia and China to develop and successfully test hypersonic technology. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh called it a landmark achievement. He congratulated DRDO on this landmark achievement towards realizing Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. With the successful test flight of the HST-DV, India has demonstrated capabilities for highly complex technology that will serve as the building block for next-generation hypersonic vehicles in partnership with the domestic defense industry, as per media reports. With this successful test, India will be making its first hypersonic missile in the next 5 years. The DRDO statement said the cruise vehicle was launched using a proven solid rocket motor, which took it to an altitude of 30 km, where the aerodynamic heat shields were separated at hypersonic Mach number. Before we end the bulletin, the top news headlines once again. RIAMEI's director violates all manners of interview code of conduct, says NTEWA. MSCW demands punishment for all perpetrators in minor girl gang rape case. And in Manipur, frogs are sold for meat. Couple held with 2,000 frogs at Thobal. And with that, it's a wrap for this evening news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Good time ahead.